Hello, I'm Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video. Our planet Mother Earth makes a dazzling array of crystals in a variation of colours, sparkling and all different magical effects. Us that are drawn to work with crystals have this real drawing to find out what to do with them and what their different traits are. However, when you first get into the crystals, it can be really quite disorientating because alongside all of these beautiful natural gifts from the Gaia, sitting in shop floors and different tables, can be crystals that are man-made or artificially coloured and different things like that. It can be really confusing working out what's real and what's not, and so this video is designed to show you some of the basic crystals that you might find around on your crystal hunting journey that aren't actually a gift from Mother Earth. A very common crystal that's found in various places around the world is agate. Now agate often comes in just nice natural colours like this. Now you can get some soft colours and different things such as, there's blue lace agate which has that real soft blue colour and some other versions as well. But this is kind of what you see in a natural agate. However, again, because bright colours can be appealing to the eye and especially draw people such as young children, what they do is agate tends to be rather porous and they'll dye it with colours. Now if you've got some pink agate or some blue agate like this has actually been injected with dye and you can look at the colours in here. Agate naturally is a really nice, nurturing kind of crystal, and I feel when I hold these, I almost feel nauseous from the dye. It's as though they've kind of put they have put artificial colouring in. So these, the nurturing ability is kind of choked. I feel it's choked out when the colours are put in, and so that you kind of lose the real nice, soft, nurturing ability that agates normally have. Unfortunately, colouring crystals doesn't just stop at agate, and another common one that you will find is a natural stone which is called Dalmatian Jasper. Now what a cute little stone, it's just a nice kind of soft beige with some black spots. And this is a natural crystal. What happens is this is a crystal that's really, again, very nurturing and comforting. It's great for loneliness. It actually brings a more playful and joyous vibration into your life and into your energy field. Really nice to have around celebrations or parties and that type of thing as well. Being called Dalmatian Jasper, it also has a resonance with dogs and canines such as foxes or wolves or coyotes. So if you're drawn to them, if you're working with them either physically or spiritually, then Dalmatian Jasper can be a really nice crystal to work with. However, because it's just a bit dull and brown, sometimes man feels that they can spice that up a little bit and they colour it. And there's all these different colours here you can get. Red Dalmatian Jasper, green Dalmatian Jasper, blue, purple, and so on. And again, with these ones, with the natural Dalmatian Jasper being such a nice, nurturing, soft one, I find when you colour them, it really chokes out that nice gentleness about it again. Again, these look bright and colourful and kids absolutely love them, and so unfortunately some crystal shops will stock them because the kids are drawn to the bright colours. But if you want to work with Dalmatian Jasper, the only natural one is this soft brown one. Howlite is this beautiful soft white stone with little black veins in it, and it's a real stone of peacefulness and gives you sweet dreams, and I actually have a whole YouTube video that explores this. This is a natural stone, but again, what do we have to do? We have to put dye in it, and this one here is blue howlite. Sometimes you'll also find green howlite and purple howlite and so on. Now this can be one of the most confusing crystals because one of the other reasons they colour crystals is not just to make them more bright and more vivid and appealing to the eye, but also to replace other crystals. Natural turquoise has been worshipped and honoured with many different ancient cultures all around the world. It's often dedicated to their gods, and when they make statues they'll put the eyes of turquoise. So turquoise is getting harder and harder to find. However, there's still a demand for this beautiful coloured crystal. So one of the solutions was to dye howlite and to make it blue. And because it's got those veins in it, I don't know if you can see the little veins, it kind of looks a little bit like turquoise. So this can get rather confusing because sometimes it's called blue howlite and that's dyed and you can work that out. But sometimes it's called turquoisite, turquoitine, and sometimes even turquoise. So how do you tell the difference between the two? Sometimes it can be really hard. Now one really obvious way would be to break this in half, and halfway through you'd find the blue stops, it's just kind of around the surface, and there'd be the white underneath. But unfortunately throwing rocks around crystal shops normally gets you thrown out, I found, so there are a few other little ways to look at. One thing is to look at the price. A piece of turquoise this size now would probably range around 20 or 30 US dollars. So if it's only about $4, then it's probably just Howlite and it's been dyed, because Howlite's still more readily available. You'll also, if it looks a bit too perfect, as you can see with this turquoise, it doesn't grow in nice flat pieces. You can see it's all veiny and bumpy and different things like that. Even my pendant here, you can see it's got bumps in it. So if you can find, if something's plain blue and called turquoise, and it's really, really cheap, then that would be another suggestion that it's not real. You know, a pendant like this you might pay about $200 for. So if someone's selling turquoise pendants about this size for $15, it's probably not real. It's probably just something that's been dyed with the turquoise colour and is now being called turquoise, turquoise, turquoisite, or something else. Again, with the blue Howlite, it stifles that peacefulness and that gentleness. It almost makes me feel nauseous, the colouring in it and the artificialness of it. So definitely not a natural crystal again. Turquoise isn't the only crystal that's getting rarer and harder to find, but it's still in demand, and so they make substitutes for it. Another one is sunstone. You can see sunstone has this beautiful glittering in it. Sometimes you'll be used to the tumbled stones that look like that, and it's got glittering, kind of glittering pieces in it there. There's your extreme close-up of that one. Really, really nice. Can be a bit hard to find. However, as a substitute, what they'll make is they'll make Goldstone. You can see, if I give you an extreme close-up of that one there, it's got all these little glittering bits in it. Now, of all the fake crystals, this is probably the one that I'm kind of okay with. And what it's made with is it's just copper filings inside an orange resin. So copper actually has its own crystal properties. It's a metal and a crystal of love. It helps energy blockages. It can help to clear, you know, when there's an obstacle in your way, and lots of different things like that. But again, it's man-made in a resin, it's dyed, and then sometimes they call it Goldstone. But then, hey, let's just throw some dye in it, why don't we? There's a blue. I'm not sure if the twinkles are catching in because I'm sitting in the shade at the moment. That's a blue one. And a green Goldstone. Again, not real crystals, fake. They've got a bit of copper in them, but then it's just resin and dyes and different colourings like that. You're going to lose that radiance that the sunstone has. What normally gives sunstone its colour or its sparkle is iron, whereas this is copper, so it has very different traits of sunstone. So although it's the same colour, it really doesn't have the same energetic properties of sunstone. So if you're looking for a substitute, actually don't look for a substitute. Just find some sunstone and work with what Mother Nature gave us. One of the most magical crystals there is beautiful rainbow moonstone. This white crystal with these blue shines that kind of catch the light or catch the moonlight, especially when you're out there at night. Now, because this isn't always available and they really want that sheen, again we have another man-made crystal called Opalite, and this one really breaks my heart. You can see here the difference between Opalite. There's your Opalite, and there's your natural moonstone with a little bit of the blue sheen in that one there. Because why this breaks my heart is I've met a few people that go, this is my favourite piece of jewellery, and they've got a pendant in Opalite, and it is again just man-made glass. It has very little crystal energy, and you're just not enjoying the full magic that crystals have to share with you if you're just working with Opalite. It doesn't have a crystal structure. It's been altered and put chemicals in it to give it that kind of sheen in different ways. And unfortunately, compared to real rainbow moonstone, it just doesn't have that energy. It actually makes me feel slightly nauseous in the stomach when I hold Opalite. So unfortunately, I'm sorry to say your Opalite is not a real crystal. One of the things that make crystals so special and so powerful is they have a crystalline structure. So they grow in particular shapes right down on a molecular or atomic level, in perfect triangles or squares or hexagons. There's 7 different shapes that they'll grow in. Now, as you know, when you clean your bedroom wardrobe or your kitchen cupboard, if you put everything neat and tidy, you can fit a lot more energy in. So that's why crystals hold a lot more energy than wood or paper or plastic or glass or anything like that. However, there are a few stones that are allowed to hang out with the crystal family because although they don't have a crystalline structure, somehow they hold a life force or something else. Some examples of them are moldavites and Libyan desert glass, different tektites that are natural glasses that are formed from meteor crashes. You've got jet and amber that formed from the fossilization of the tree and its resin, and then you have obsidians that obviously are formed very, very quickly. And you know, here are a couple of examples: black obsidian and mahogany obsidian, formed in about 24 hours when a volcano erupts and then becomes solid, and so it holds that fiery energy in there. So although it doesn't have a crystalline structure, what happens is it still has that real fiery energy within it, and so you can still get quite a lot of use and power out of these obsidians. Really good for protection, for overcoming obstacles, for finding your inner strength and bringing that up like a volcano does. Now, basically when it comes to obsidians, you'll find lots of dark colours. You know, black, you get the sheens that have a bit of colour shine in them. You get snowflake, which has little white crystals growing within it. Mahogany obsidian is a bit unusual because of the iron content makes it red. But then you will actually find in shops and different things, different coloured, let me put them down, different coloured ones. Blue obsidian they call it, or green obsidian is another really popular one. Now, obsidians are basically natural glass, and so these, again, are just glass, coloured to be green or to be blue, or all different colours. If it's a bright colour, then it's pretty unlikely that Mother Nature made that. Again, because it doesn't have a crystalline structure, it's not going to hold much energy. The only real use you've got out of these is colour therapy. So if you're wanting to surround yourself with green for your heart chakra or blue for your throat chakra, then this might be of little use. But why not use a natural crystal, you know, like turquoise or something like that, that's actually got that energy held within its matrix and can help you so much more. So if it's a bright colour, it's pretty much not going to be something that was created by nature. It was a coloured glass. You know, glass and obsidian are almost interchangeable words, and this is as close as what you find in a stained glass window in a beautiful church building or something like that. Things like Goldstone and Andara glass are pretty much the same, and although I haven't worked with them and can speak about them from my own experiences, again, I'd really question whether they've got a lot of power in them, because they're not, again, made by Mother Nature herself. Mother Nature makes so many beautiful crystals, and unfortunately sometimes man thinks they can do one better, to make something more sparkly or more colourful. When we're a novice and learning about our crystals, it can be hard to tell, because a lot of the time they'll put these fake crystals next to real crystals and they'll put attributes and traits just as though they're a real thing. Hopefully I've been able to show you a couple that aren't real ones today, and these are just a few, probably some of the most common ones that you will find in most shops. Hopefully I haven't broken too many hearts and one of your beloved crystals you've just found out is nothing more than a man-made creation. I'd love to hear about your experiences with these crystals. Have you got anything out of them? Do you work with them, or do you avoid them like the plague as I do? When I hold these crystals, when I tune into their energy, a lot of the time I feel nauseous, probably because of the overwhelming of the dye and the colouring and the artificialness that's put in them. But I'd love to hear about yours. Now, if you'd like to learn about all the beautiful natural crystals that Mother Nature makes for us, some are readily available and is just as affordable as the fake ones we've talked about here, then please check out the other videos on my channel where we talk about all the different gifts of Mother Nature. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Barralet. Blessed be.